Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We're looking at I watched Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer in 0.25 times speed, and here's what I found. This is from the Canadian Lad. Thanks so much for allowing us to react to this. Very, very much appreciate it. Y'all, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Canadian Lad. There's a link in the description below if you want to click on that link to give the original video an upvote and subscribe to him from there. Also, please subscribe here, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please, vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Let's dive in. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Madness, I tell you. Here we go.
Hey everyone, I'm the Canadian Lad, and today I watched the trailer of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness at 0.25 speed and found some amazing hidden details. Now this trailer was actually shown after the credits in Spider-Man No Way Home, but was only officially released on YouTube last week. So I watched it in slow motion and found some details that you won't find anywhere else. The trailer begins with Wong saying,
"Don't cast that spell. It's too dangerous."
Now this audio is from the trailer of Spider-Man No Way Home, which surprisingly wasn't in the movie.
Don't cast that spell. It's too dangerous.
In No Way Home, Wong actually doesn't stop Strange from casting any spell. He simply says, and I quote, "Just leave me out of this." Because Wong himself also got convinced that Peter deserves a better life. And for that, if Strange has to cast a forgetting spell, he should do it. So Marvel actually changed it in No Way Home. And I have a pretty strong feeling they had to change it because of Multiverse of Madness. Because had Wong not allowed Strange to cast his spell, all the blame for cracking up the multiverse would only lie on Strange's shoulder, as opposed to now it's on both of them. So in Multiverse of Madness, Wong and Strange are now both at fault. Maybe one more so than the other, but both have to team up to fix it. Moving on.
Why, he didn't really dive into why there was a separation of why there was a difference. There was a discrepancy in what Wong said. Another video explained it as a potential variant of Wong.
Yeah,
it's the
no,
multiverse.
it's like a different potential universe.
Yeah.
is what New Rockstar said.
That's an easy explanation. So he doesn't need to say it necessarily. I was just looking for him to say the same thing.
Stability of space-time. No desecration of reality. Will not go unpunished.
We see candles blow out at Kamar-Taj, and if you notice, we can also see a little bit of snow. So it immediately indicates the movie's taking place right after No Way Home. And if you notice, the candles actually don't blow out at the same time. So it's definitely not CGI. Because with Marvel's reputation, they kind of CGI almost everything. So right off the bat, we can assume the film's gonna be different, as Sam Raimi has directed it and probably used a lot more real-life props than just simple CGI. We then see Strange's broken watch from his first movie, which really played an important role in that film. Now there was an Easter egg in the first film where this broken watch stopped at a little over 5:15 on February 2nd. This was a reference to Bill Murray's Groundhog Day, where he wakes up on the same day again and again, just like Strange died again and again fighting Dormammu at the end of the first film. But notice in the trailer, this hand of the watch is no longer set in February. Instead, it's now in November, and even the timings are different. So it goes to show that even though Strange didn't fix the case of the watch, but he did fix the hands and the hour marker. And I like how the focus of the camera shifts from the watch to Strange's reflection, indicating that the first movie was about time, but Multiverse of Madness is gonna be around Strange. This is one of the main reasons why I love Sam Raimi. He can tell a story with the way he uses the camera.
What is the significance of the November 2024?
He didn't say if there was a significance. He just said that in the previous film that was a reference to Groundhog's Day.
Right.
And so this is indicating that even though Doctor Strange fixed the watch internally, like, you know, I actually don't know an awful lot about how to take care of nice old watches like that, but you do have to get them serviced and, you know, put a battery in and blah, blah, blah.
They require care.
They require care.
Yeah.
So he fixed the internal workings of it, but decided not to fix the face, is what Canadian Lad is saying.
Right.
So
right, I just wondered if there was any significance to the specific date that he pointed out, and maybe that's something that'll come up later in Marvel, because there's all of the interconnectedness of the Marvel stuff, the stories and whatnot. I'm sure like at some point something will be announced. It's like, oh, it comes out November 2024.
We then see the fabric of reality breaking apart. This looks really similar to what we've seen in What If Episode 4, where Strange Supreme altered an absolute point, and the fabric of reality started melting apart. Now by the looks of Strange, even he looks worried and scared of what's happening. And notice when the camera pans right and starts to fade out, we can see this number 814 on a building. Now this number could be a reference to the character Yao, aka the Ancient One from the comics, who also lives on Earth 814. I understand I could be reaching here, but we also have to take into account that this is probably a set Marvel built, so random numbers may not be that random.
Exactly.
Moving on.
It was the
that's
only
right.
way. But I never meant for any of this to happen.
So we can hear Strange saying it was the only way. He of course said something similar to Tony Stark in Infinity War after sacrificing half the universe.
There was no other way.
Right.
We then see the Sanctum getting flooded with seawater because of not one but two broken walls. Now we learned in Spider-Man No Way Home that the Sanctum walls are thousands of years old, and that the Sanctum is built at the intersection of cosmic energy currents. So it kind of makes sense that nature is behaving a bit weird inside the Sanctum, given the fact that it's right at the intersection.
Right.
But as we know, the walls are thousands of years old, so something really devastating has to happen in order for these walls to break open like this. Now notice this version of the Sanctum has these two statues on both sides of the stairs. The Sanctum we see in our universe, or very recently in No Way Home, there was no statue like this. So it is possible that this Sanctum is an alternate version of the one we have. It could belong to Strange Supreme. Cut to the next shot where Doctor Strange slowly...
Did you notice the camera going through the what is it called, the banister of the stairs? It goes right through it. It's like, it's one of those things that directors love that no one, like, your average person isn't paying attention to that, but directors are like, oh my god, look how cool this shit is. Right there. Look at that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's physically impossible. It's a physically impossible shot, and it looks so real. So
yeah, I guess that's why I didn't even pick up on it.
One of two things happened there. Either the railing was incomplete, and they digitally added it on, or how'd they do that? I don't know. Like, yeah, that's the only explanation, is that there was like a part of it that's missing, and so the camera does go underneath something.
Yeah.
But like the inner part is added digitally, or the stairwell is just much further back. Either way, there's a digital add-on in order to accomplish that shot.
Sure.
Which is crazy.
It looks cool.
It looks so seamless you wouldn't even notice it, but you're going through that shit, and it's like, that's the kind of trickery you can do. But like, what's so great about this shot that I like so much is that you don't even notice it. It happens so seamlessly, whereas usually like you're going through windows and stuff, and it's like, okay, you know that a camera can't do that, and you notice it. Whereas here, it's just like, it's so seamless when it happens.
Wow.
It could belong to Strange Supreme. Cut to the next shot where Doctor Strange slowly looks upwards. But take a look at the symbol on Strange's suit, which is missing in No Way Home and in all other movies that he appeared in. This is a comic-accurate symbol from classic Doctor Strange comics. Although this symbol is actually white in the comics, I'm glad they decided to add this touch to Strange's outfit. And I'll have you know, this isn't the first time Marvel decided to include this symbol on his suit. In What If Episode 4, Strange Supreme had this symbol on his suit as well. Then we see the shot of Strange hovering his hand by the window at the Sanctum. Keep it in mind, I'll talk about it at the end. Then we hear Strange say, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. Strange said the exact same line in What If Episode 4.
I didn't mean for this to happen!
But I think all of these dialogues are there to throw us off. I'll explain it in a bit. We then see Wanda channeling her chaos magic. But notice behind her, we can see a rectangular-shaped orange door, which seems awful lot like the time doors we've seen in Loki. Now, of course, this is just a theory, but this orange glow behind Wanda, which also happens to be in a rectangular shape, might indicate that Wanda will travel the multiverse through some of the time doors. The time variance of 30, aka the TVA, used it all the time in Loki. All you gotta do is have it temped, activate the door, and just walk through it. And that may be it behind Wanda here. We then see Christine Palmer walking down the aisle in her wedding, while Steven watches from the pews. We can also see Dr. Nick just beside Steven, who we've seen previously in the first film. But in this trailer, he looks a bit old with a lot of gray hair, which might indicate that Dr. Nick wasn't blipped, so he grew 5 years older than Steven. What's interesting here is that even though Steven's full focus is on Christine, but Christine isn't even looking at him. So I wonder if this is a nightmare sequence, where you would see the love of your life getting married to someone else. I mean, why would Christine invite her ex to her own wedding? That doesn't sit well with me.
Because they're frenzies now.
Christine survived the blip and is now in a long-term relationship with someone else. Then we get our first look at America Chavez, who will be played by Xochitl Gomez. We can see her signature star from the Marvel Comics on her jean jacket. The star represents her ability to create star-shaped portals that allow her to travel across the multiverse. And I think this is why Wanda might be the villain in this movie, as she would want to possess the powers of America Chavez, which would allow her to travel to another universe and get her children back. In the comics, America Chavez also works with the Young Avengers.
I don't know anything about America Chavez at all. An interesting, very specific superpower that she can create star-shaped portals. It's like, can you create a triangle or a circle? No.
Just stars.
Just stars.
Hey, any shape portal is pretty cool.
In the comics, America Chavez also works with the Young Avengers, who consist of Billy, Tommy, Kate Bishop, Eli Bradley, Casey Lang, and many more who we have seen already in this phase of the MCU. And as I said, America Chavez can open portals across the multiverse shaped like a star. So in the very next shot, we can see one of her star-shaped portals. In the next scene, we can see Wong with both of his hands tied up. But notice if you look closely, he's tied up with some sort of magical energy. The energy here is either red or orange, whatever it is that Marvel decides. I think it is Scarlet Witch using chaos magic to hold Wong hostage. So this shot could be from a very important part of the film, considering Wong is now the Sorcerer Supreme and not Steven, as we've learned in No Way Home. Now, if you're wondering why would Wanda go after Steven and Wong, well, both of them may stand between her and America Chavez. Moving on.
Dang, that goatee.
Wanda.
I knew sooner or later you'd show up. I made mistakes, and people were hurt.
I'm not here to talk about Westview.
Then what are you here for?
I need your help.
With what?
What do you know about the multiverse?
We then see the Marvel logo incorporating an older logo from Phase 2, and another one from Fox's X-Men universe. Now, why would they suddenly use an X-Men intro in Multiverse of Madness? Well,
yeah,
because multiple leaks and concept art revealed that Professor Xavier is going to make his MCU debut in this film as the leader of the Illuminati. And apparently Steven Strange will be arrested by Ultron bots and brought before Professor X in handcuffs. The concept art was shared by My Time to Shine on Twitter, and after seeing the trailer where we can actually see Strange's hands being locked with some mystical device, chances are this concept art is indeed true and Professor X will be in the movie. Now, Professor X's appearance will plant the seed for X-Men in the MCU.
Oh my god!
The group has existed in secret for years, with Doctor Strange and a few others being
That's
the only
cool.
ones who knew about them. Now, Clea will also be a part of the film as Professor X's advisor, who will also be played by Rachel McAdams. So chances are she won't have much of a role as Christine Palmer, but as Clea, her role could be very significant. And that's why Marvel used a certain X-Men intro in their logo. Now, the way Marvel used a broken glass effect on the logo again foreshadows what's to come in this movie. It's a metaphor throughout the trailer indicating that reality is breaking apart. We then see Steven and Wanda having a conversation where Strange asks for help. Now, judging by the expression of Steven, even he looks surprised seeing Wanda here. So something tells me after this conversation with Wanda here, he will realize that she's not what she seems to be. And a massive fight may take place over here.
Oh.
Fun.
I'm sorry, Stephen. I hope you understand.
We then see Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and Christine Palmer, or Clea, standing near the hatch of a ship. And when it opens, we see another dimension on the other side, where gravity works differently from our universe. You notice with all these broken columns flying across randomly, these three particular columns actually make up the letter M. A very clever reference to the House of M comics, which this movie is heavily based on. And the use of this hatch could also be a subtle reference to X-Men. But please don't abuse me on this is just a theory. We then see Mordo with his new look, and he's clearly at the Sanctum Sanctorum. But
It's entirely possible because if you go back and watch the first X-Men movie, there are X's everywhere in that film.
Really?
Everywhere in that movie. Are you messing with me? No, you're not messing with me.
No.
Like almost every scene has an X in it.
Oh, fun.
Including like Professor X's wheelchair.
Oh, yeah,
There's like X symbols on the door. Like it's hidden everywhere.
Him looking so different and taking into account the premise of this movie, this could be a variant of Mordo. And him wearing such a fancy outfit might indicate that in his universe, he holds a much higher position than our Mordo. We then see this cloud taking over Kamar-Taj, but notice Wong's outfit here. He's wearing the same suit as he did in this shot, where he was hanged and tied up. So my theory is whoever is causing this cloud to take over Kamar-Taj is also the one blowing it all up and then later torturing Wong. And it's very likely that it will be Scarlet Witch. Cut to the next shot where Scarlet Witch can be seen floating on the air with her fingertips turning black. This is probably because she absorbed all of Agatha Harkness's power in WandaVision, whose hands also turned black when she used dark magic. And notice Scarlet Witch has also gone through some of her own costume changes. She no longer dons a sleeveless suit, it's fully covered now. But notice this new part of the sleeves that she has now looks a bit darker from elbow up, implying the new powers and knowledge that she gained are incredibly evil.
Or maybe she had a rash that day. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. I mean, she can just make her own outfit, so whatever.
You really think that that Wanda's the bad guy in this movie?
Yeah.
I guess that's what everything's indicating.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if the bad guy just has yet to be revealed properly. That's all. I thought Mordo was going to play a more significant role in being one of the villains of the film, and then couple that with evil Doctor Strange. I thought those were the villains that our Doctor Strange was up against in this movie. I didn't think Scarlet was going to be like the main villain of the film. Or maybe she's like a partial villain and then he's got to like bring her back to the good side or something like that.
Maybe. I mean, I think that's more interesting. You know, it's kind of like how in X-Men, Professor X and Magneto are always at odds, but yeah, Magneto has his reasons.
You only killed like 20,000 people, but we can be friends.
Yeah, like you went through a lot of trauma during the Holocaust. It sucked.
You're a troubled soul.
You are a troubled soul.
You can be saved.
That she has now looks a bit darker from elbow up, implying the new powers and knowledge that she gained are incredibly evil.
Greatest threat to our universe.
Then we see this scene which I talked about already where Strange has his hands locked with a mystical device while fighting Mordo, potentially a variant of Mordo. Notice there's slight green light emitting from the handcuffs.
Yes.
This may be a button to unlock or lock the handcuffs. Then we see this massive explosion.
I don't think so, because he could just like touch it.
Yeah, it's like, how long?
Yeah. That'd be an interesting part of the fight, right?
Maybe it's like
can't reach.
maybe it's like got a signature to a specific person, so only that person's thumb can open it.
With the right magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All I can say for
Probably
sure is
not.
this much: I'll never look at long sleeves on a woman the same way again. As indicated by Canadian Lad here, like he's literally saying that the long sleeves on her arm indicate like just how strong her evil magic is.
No,
now. That's what he said a second ago.
No, he said that if you look at the color, it's darker towards the top, which is
We covered that.
indicating
But notice this new part
that
of the sleeve that
she
she has looks a bit darker from elbow up, implying the new powers and knowledge that she gained are incredibly evil.
It's not the length of the sleeve; it's the color. Am I evil?
You start wearing like some burgundy colors on your arms. Yeah.
Fine. I think I will. What?
Look at this dude right here on the right.
He looks like,
Looks like horns.
Gandalf.
No, it looks like horns.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
What the hell's going on there? Weird. That's definitely horns.
They can have many magical beings.
I know, but we never
at
saw that in the
Kamar-Taj.
we never saw that in any of the commercials so far. Like that is a proper CGI character. That's crazy.
Which I've already predicted could be Wanda's doing. Now, if you ask me, why would Wanda go so mad that she not only goes after Wong and Strange, but also all the sorcerers there? Well, I think Strange is holding something or someone here at Kamar-Taj, and Wanda is after it. And that's why she has gone total rogue in pursuit. And notice in this same shot, we can briefly see this horned character who's most likely Rintrah, making his debut in the MCU. Rintrah in the comics is a magical green minotaur from another dimension, who was
There we
sent by his
go.
mentor to learn from Doctor Strange. We then see Steven in a dark version of the Sanctum, casting some sort of a spell. Notice in this scene, this window of the Sanctum is broken. We did see this intact earlier in the trailer, but now it's broken, indicating a fight may
Is that
take
the
place
same
between the
window?
two Stranges inside this alternate version of the Sanctum. You notice, while Doctor Strange is performing magic, surrounding him are blown out candles. And where have we seen a similar sort of setup? That's right, when Scarlet Witch was conjuring her chaos magic, she had candles lit up all around her as well. So maybe Scarlet Witch was here performing magic, and later on Strange got here recreating her spell, trying to figure out what Scarlet Witch must have done. That's why the
Interesting.
candles surrounding Strange are blown out, and that's why his magic looks similar to what Wanda had done previously. I almost forgot to mention, if you slow it down and zoom in, you can quite clearly see that Strange is harnessing the Darkhold to figure out what Wanda is after. We then see Strange
Interesting.
unleashing some beasts from within him, which we have already seen in What If Episode 4, where Strange Supreme absorbed a lot of interdimensional beings, and then later unleashed it. Now Strange Supreme had to pay a hefty price for absorbing all these beasts in What If. And now the fact that our Strange also possesses such a level of power within him, he must have done something wrong in the past as well. I mean the past mistakes that we're yet to see, which is why he possesses such beasts within him in the first place. And I'm guessing to sustain such a powerful beast inside you, you'd have to harness a lot of dark magic. I like how for a
Sure.
split second it makes him look really evil, exactly like in What If. Cut to Gargantos, not Shumagorath, throwing a bus at Strange and Chavez. Notice the attention to detail here. We can even see the reflection of the bus on Gargantos' eyes. I
Oh.
love attention to details like this. Strange
is
then
cool.
conjures a massive blade, turns it around, and uses it to cut the bus in half. But I found something important here. Notice as soon as America Chavez noticed that Strange is conjuring a blade, she immediately started moving and took cover behind Steven. She knew what Strange was up to just by looking at the weapon. This shows how good she is already, and with Strange and Wong as her mentor, she might as well become one of the best. Now the final scene.
Maybe she was just dancing.
Is you. Things just got out of hand.
Now over here we see Evil Strange or Strange Supreme or Defender Strange based on which reports you want to believe until the movie releases. Now remember I told you to keep this scene in mind? Notice in both shots Strange's hair looks very similar, and in both places he's hiding his left hand for some reason. Both versions of Strange just casually walk inside this alternate version of the Sanctum. So my theory is Evil Strange is nothing but a misdirect, and the main antagonist of this film is Scarlet Witch aka
Really?
Wanda. And that's it. This would be my breakdown of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness thriller in 0.2 febic speed. I hope I managed to give you lads a few new details that you haven't
guess that
seen
makes
before.
sense.
If I did, then
I
please
think
give me a
so.
thumbs up, grab the subscribe button, and turn notifications on.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, we don't want to think that Scarlet Witch or Wanda is gonna be a baddie, but I think, obviously I haven't read the comics, but from what I have heard and people talking about it, it seems like it is very...
from your circle.
Not from my circle, no, from the interwebs. It seems like it is very likely that, you know, it is her because the character in the comics wasn't, you know, completely good. she did some bad stuff, right? So that is smart to use evil Strange as like a misdirect, if that really is
I
so.
get it.
And
I
then
get
have
it.
it be Scarlet Witch. And
I
then we'll
understand.
all, like,
I was
have
just so
our
excited.
minds blown.
I was just so excited for the duel between Strange and Strange Supreme.
I'm sure there's gonna be a duel.
I know, but that's just like the halfway point of the movie or whatever, right?
Probably.
And
I
then-
don't
and he's
know.
gonna fight Wanda.
Yeah, that would be the big fight.
But
yeah.
like, see, with Strange Supreme, you know he's gonna go all out to just destroy this dude, right? Whereas with Wanda, it's gotta be one of those things where it's like, I don't want to hurt you. Ugh. Like, how many times have we seen that? You know, I want to see Doctor Strange like go toe to toe with someone, because like in his first film, he didn't actually fight Dormammu. He just like tricked him.
Yeah,
with
he
a-
just annoyed him.
Right? I want to see Strange just like unleash all of his power, as like it's being advertised here in the trailer with like the dragons from his wrists. I want to see him use all of his magic against someone else who's also got magic, and like the banana fight scene that would be.
I'm sure it's gonna be a Banana Town fight scene. You know, like
Between him and Scarlet, really, like it's gonna be him trying not to kill her.
it's Scarlet Witch, by the way.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no,
Scarlet
but,
Witch.
but like she is formidable. She has so much power.
know.
I feel like Doctor Strange is not going to be able to defeat her on his own, and he's going to have to call in the troops, which is like, yeah, we see the troops in the trailer.
She's gonna get sent through a star portal
Yeah.
into one of those things where he's gonna box her in like one of the spells, like the way he tried to box in the spell in No Way Home, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna trap her in like one of those dimensions.
Maybe. Why are you so frustrated?
I'm frustrated because I want to see him vanquish somebody. I want that to be the epic ending fight, is him like destroying Mordo or something like that.
Listen, this is a trailer. I don't know if this is probably even just the teaser trailer. So we're making a lot of speculations here based off of
Do you
like
have any idea how
2
much
minutes
accuracy
of
was
footage?
spoken before No Way Home came out? When I was watching the movie, I'm like, God damn, like so much of this was predicted to the T. Yeah, and same with Eternals.
Yeah.
Like all these videos like this, they have some inside track information. It's like, it cannot just be like looking at the trailer with like a magnifying
Well,
glass.
like also knowing the source material, you know, he cited House of M, which was a big influence on this. So I imagine if you've read the comic, then, you know, you might have a vague idea as to what's happening.
Sure. I'm just saying, this dude, he's calling out some shit, and I'm like, all right, well, now I'm prepared for that. So I'm glad I watched this video, because now I can be prepared for the fact that Strange Supreme is not like the main bad guy, even though that's what I would love to see.
Right.
I'd love to see like this epic, you know, like the last fight of any Marvel film has to be like this skadoosh thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's gotta
yeah.
be huge.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be between them two. Like, they start out in that like Strange Supreme's Kamar-Taj or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And then it just freaking gets crazy like Dragon Ball, and the roof is gone, and they're just, you know, unloading on each other everything they got. So you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and thank you Canadian Land for allowing us to react to this. Very, very much appreciated. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that bell icon, please, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. I'm Jaby Koay, this is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.